Welcome back to My Unpopular Opinion. Thank you for tuning in. Turn your post notifications on. Subscribe to the channel, please. And like a video, leave a comment, all that good stuff, because I'm back. And I'm back with a vengeance this time. So before I go into any topics, I want to thank Ash Miracle for giving me these numerous shout outs in her video today. I'm sure you guys probably watched and heard it, but I got word of it and I went over there and I saw that she kept shouting me out. She kept saying my unpopular opinion, my unpopular opinion. So she must be very happy about my return to YouTube yesterday. Thank you for watching, Ash. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it from someone who has 38,000 subscribers. And it inspires me to, continue on my channel and really be consistent with it, because I haven't really taken my channel serious like that, to be honest. I just do it for fun a little bit here and there when I feel like talking. But now that I'm getting support from people like Ash, and her subscribers are now coming over here to want to get some real tea, I feel inspired. So thank you. I really appreciate the support. Also, I did hear about some tweets. So I went ahead and I made an X account that is going to be associated with this channel as well, and I'm posting that right here. So go ahead to X and follow the account so I can interact with you guys. I can thank people for their shout outs and all that good stuff over there too, and we can continue some dialogue. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and go over to X and follow this account. It's My Unpopular O. Okay, so the first topic I want to talk about is Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom. We know that she's always going to be Beyonce's #1 defender and come on social media and probably say everything Beyonce wants to say, and she just gets her mom to do it. I'm just kidding. But Tina's going to come out and she's going to speak her mind with a post and delete per usual. She's no stranger to social media, and we know that she loves to like shady stuff and do shady stuff. So that's no secret here. Tina, we see you, girl. You are not innocent. But she got on here and she pretty much talked about how she doesn't understand how, if you don't like Beyonce, why would you watch her performance to critique her? Why would you, be watching that? You should be watching something with clowns that you can relate to more so. There's pretty much no point in watching her if you don't like her. Now, Tina, that's where you got it wrong. Number one, Beyonce is an international celebrity. She is a star, and you made her that. That's what you and her father wanted her to be. We know with a lot of these huge celebrities and stars, it's actually something deeper, to where their parents are usually the ones pushing them into the spotlight and making the deals, wink wink, and all the other things. Every huge star that is considered quote unquote an elite, like Beyonce is, it started with their mother. So you can think about Whitney Houston, you can think about Mariah Carey, her mother, you can think about pretty much everyone that is in that space. Even the Norwoods, their mom was pushing them out there. So it usually starts with a parent that is heavily involved, and not trying to be funny, but even Keke Palmer's mom is super involved in who she is as a person. So it seems like it's the parents' dream, and so that's why they take it so personal, is my point. And that's why the parents usually are the ones that are desperate to do whatever it takes to get their kids into a position like that. That's what I mean by the deals and all the different things. The parents are a part of that stuff, as we know. And that's how people like R. Kelly, not trying to, tangent or go off topic, but we know that a lot of those parents were sending their kids to him because they were desperate for their child to become whatever they think he could make them into. So anyway, back to Miss Tina Knowles. I don't agree. Beyonce's an international superstar. She's a celebrity. Whether people like her or not, or whether people are going to critique her or not, this is what comes with that. You can't always see. That's what gets me about people like a Beyonce or her mother or people like that think that you're always going to be liked. Y'all have to get out of this mindset of being praised. You're not God. You are not going to be praised all the time. People are not going to like you all the time, and they're not going to like everything you do. And sometimes, because someone like Beyonce has been famous and rich so long, she loses. It seems like she's losing the touch on reality, that she's still a human being. I know you called yourself alien superstar, but you're not an alien. You're not a different being. You're human. So people have a right to like you in this world, and people have a right to dislike you. So to think that everyone has to support and praise you, that's just pompous and arrogant and self-centered. And to think everybody has to praise your daughter, it doesn't matter if they like her or not. Is she still getting paid all this money? Yes, she is. Is she still having a huge fan base that supports her and buys her tickets and buys all her stuff? Yes, she does. Does she still have friends in the industry that support her? Yes, she does. So why does it matter if she's getting critiqued? Aren't you supposed to get critiqued as a celebrity? Like, that's a part of it. So I feel like Tina and them, they just are kind of feeling like they're above being critiqued, and you're not. I hate to break it to you. Everyone was critiqued. Even Michael Jackson, his life was scrutinized, okay? His family, his kids, Whitney Houston, everyone gets critiqued, okay? Beyonce is not exempt, all right? So Beyonce's NFL Christmas halftime performance, she had 27 million viewers that watched it, and, you know, that's a great number. But online, there's a debate about Rihanna on that same post where people are saying Rihanna's performance for the Super Bowl did 121 million. And, you know, obviously a lot of people came back with a rebuttal saying, well, Rihanna's performance was free, so anybody could watch it. It was televised for free. And that, you know, you have to have the Netflix subscription to watch Netflix. So that puts it at a disadvantage. I'm kind of torn in the middle with that, though, because I feel like Netflix has more than 27 million people who are subscribed to their platform. So I feel like there's still an opportunity for more than 27 million people to view Beyonce's performance. That still did not. You know, the people above 27 million didn't. It's still a great number. It's still a lot. It doesn't need to be a comparison. But I think, you know, there's always a comparison between Beyonce and Rihanna. I do feel like, you know, I won't say it, but I will say Rihanna is just like effortlessly successful. You can tell she doesn't really care. She's not trying that hard. She just does her numbers and she just, you know, does her thing, and people just like it. They just like her and they like what she does. So y'all, let me know in the comments what you think about this. You know, is that a win for Rihanna over B, or does it not matter? So moving on to the toddler, Kendrick's short man Lamar. His song Squabble Up has now sold over 1 million units in the US, as well as his song with SZA called Luther. It sold 1 million units as well. And I saw on chart data, well, this is all according to chart data, and I saw on chart data that he had another song or another two songs that also I think sold 1 million as well. I just find it a little bit weird, the sequence of how all the songs are now being recognized for 1 million all at the same time, and it's all being posted. So you see, I just pay attention to details like that. Like, that looks orchestrated to me. You know, I'm gonna keep it real over here. This is my unpopular opinion. You don't have to agree. I just see things differently and more clearly than the average person, and so that looks orchestrated. So obviously they're still going with this whole Barry Drake thing, and I'm not even in support of Drake because I do think Drake needed some humbling, but you know, I just feel like it's all manufactured and fake. I like Kendrick Lamar. He is a Gemini like myself. I think his birthday is like a day before mine. He's extremely talented, yes. And that's why I'm a little bit disappointed in him, because I respect his ability to go up against someone like Drake fearlessly and, you know, use his talent to do so. And, you know, he won fair and square with his talent. Well, not fair and square, but he did win based on his talent. He would have won had they not played dirty, in my opinion. I feel like I don't respect Kendrick as much because I feel like, allegedly, you know, I feel like this is all orchestrated by Jay-Z the Moose. You know, and the reason I feel that way is because after them doing this whole team up thing against Drake, it's ironic that, oh, and then you get the Super Bowl performance over Lil Wayne, who's like, you know, the Young Money, and it's like this whole hate train against Young Money now, and hate train against Drake. Even though I do think Drake, some of it is deserved, you needed to humble yourself, it's orchestrated. I could respect it had Kendrick done this on his own and said, hey, I want to go against Drake, I'm about to diss him in a battle, versus getting a call from Jay-Z the Moose and getting a meeting and saying, hey, if you go against Drake and them and tear him up in some lyrics, I'm going to give you the Super Bowl and we're going to give you all this help and we're going to give you all this press and this, that, and the third. So yes, Kendrick is talented. Yes, he is amazing. He deserves success and he's worked for it and everything like that. But it kind of takes some cool points away from you because you could have done that without being a puppet. I feel like you let Jay-Z the Moose make you his puppet to go against Drake, because in reality, we do know there's a deeper conversation where the Moose wants control of everyone in music. And so him not being able to control someone like a Nicki and being able to control someone like Drake, it bothers him that they did not do what he wanted them to do. Like Drake did not sign to Tidal like the other artists did and stuff like that. He didn't sign and do any dealings with that because he didn't want to. And so allegedly that pissed off, the Moose. So that was the start of that. And so the Moose loves control is my point. And I feel like Kendrick allowed him to play puppet master. And it's like, you need to be the master of yourself. Don't let nobody else master you. But that's just my opinion. I also feel like SZA the Liar is a puppet as well and a pawn. I mean, she was all up Drake's ass 1 second and now all of a sudden it's the whole TDE thing though. But SZA, you get sabotaged yourself, and a lot of people were saying you think it was your own label sabotaging you. So it's like, okay, you're going against Drake, even though I'm not a support of Drake. It's still like, girl, you shouldn't even be doing their bidding when they do you dirty sometimes. But I guess it doesn't matter because she's successful, extremely successful with her numbers and her music, and so is Kendrick. So y'all let me know down in the comments what you think about that. So let's go ahead and talk about the list that Impressive Channel posted. She put that this is her list of the greatest performers that are alive. And, the key word is alive. I think that at first I side-eyed it for a second, but then when I paid attention to the word alive, I was like, okay, that makes sense because, these are some of the greatest performers alive. Now, that is relative. It's what you think and what you enjoy in a performer. But I will say that I definitely agree with Usher. Usher's amazing. He's super talented. Been doing this a very long time. Performed all over the world. But really does have the skill vocally and dance-wise. So it's like, that makes sense. He definitely makes his mark. And so I could consider him that. I would say Beyonce for sure. I mean, she has put in a lot of work, effort. Like, this is her life. We know she gave her life for this. So definitely her. That makes sense. Bruno Mars, I had to think about that for a second, but Bruno's been out for quite some time. He does love to sing, dance, and, entertain and put on a show, and he does that. And so I'm like, okay, I could totally see him doing that as well. He's been doing it for a long time, so that makes sense. But he's good. He's really good. He's performed at Super Bowls and everything with Beyonce, so that makes sense to me. Now, Chris Brown also, obviously, that makes a lot of sense. He makes even more sense to me than a Bruno Mars, and I'll get into why in a minute. But what didn't make sense to me was Doja Cat. Now, I like Doja. Doja's a good girl. Now let me stop. Doja the Devil. She definitely is talented. I mean, she is versatile. She can dance, which is interesting. I don't know if I consider her a rapper, but I will say she's versatile. She does a lot of pop music, and then she adds a little bit of like Nicki's flair of like, rap pop that Nicki created. So I don't know, maybe because I just love Nicki so much, it's hard for me to be impressed by Doja, but I am impressed by her dance ability, and she does make really, really good music. I don't know if I care for some of her imagery lately, but I don't think that Doja is one of the greatest entertainers alive. And the only reason I just don't want to consider her in this list is because she's not as seasoned as the other artists. And I know some people might not like that, but she's just not. I don't think she's performed wide enough to say she's one of the greatest performers alive. The stages that Chris Brown, Usher, Beyonce, and Bruno Mars have performed on are much larger than what Doja has done yet. Now, and maybe some years down the line and her furthering her success, maybe for sure you could add her into the list. I just think it's a little soon for her to be on there. Now, I know some people were trying to say that Chris Brown doesn't have any songs. So, some people are ignorant. We know that. Saying Chris Brown doesn't have any songs that will be good for the Super Bowl and he's not going to be able to do that. That's someone who is slow, because Chris Brown definitely has a really nice discography of great music, from ballads to upbeat stuff, hip hop, all kinds of stuff. Like, he's extremely versatile, extremely talented, extremely consistent. And I know that a lot of people want to take credit away from him for whatever reason. Well, I know what reason, obviously. Some of the stuff he's done in the past. Now, do I like Chris Brown's history? No. Do I like his attitude, or what what appears to be his attitude, because we don't know how he is personally? But no, I do think he can be very irrational, and I don't like some of the violent things I've seen from him. But separating that from his talent, the talent I don't think can be played with. So, like, separating that talent wise, he definitely is one of the greatest entertainers of this generation. He definitely should be able to perform at the Super Bowl, because he would kill it. Have you seen Chris Brown perform? People who say he cannot, it's just like, I don't know if you've seen him really perform. His vocals are A1, his dancing A1, his his appeal is A1. Like, people still go crazy over Chris Brown. And he's even been compared to Michael Jackson too. The only reason he's not getting the same respect is because of his history and some of his issues in the industry that, we can't really go into for real, but that's that. So, but Chris Brown definitely deserves to perform at the Super Bowl, in my opinion, because he is well equipped to do so. He would literally entertain the people. And I'm gonna go ahead and say something. Entertainment wise, and I love Usher, I might think that Chris Brown is even more entertaining than Usher. When you see him get up on that stage and do all these acrobatics and the athleticism of his art, it's like something beyond even Usher. Usher dances well, but Chris Brown, and sings well, but Chris Brown sings really good and then does all these like acrobatics. It's like, and then his sets is so creative. His creativity is out of this world. So, I just don't like when people try to play with his talent. You can talk about his history and not like him politically, but talent-wise, cut it out. So, Chart Data posted that Nicki Minaj ties Doja Cat as female rapper with the most songs with over 1 billion streams on Spotify. So, congrats to Nicki. I mean, that's no surprise. Nicki Minaj is always breaking records, even on her hiatus. She's always relevant no matter what's going on. So, with Doja Cat, that's cool that she has a tie with Nicki Minaj. I see that is a common theme with them when it pertains to the charts, as far as like Chart Data as well as Spotify. I know they go back and forth for the number one spot there. To me, Nicki Minaj is the number one female rapper of all time in any situation, and she's number one, period. But I know that it's a political game, and it's a weird industry game that's played. I mean, it's been speculated that Doja has had payola. A lot of people feel that way, and I know some people like payola. Yes, because it's weird the way her stuff stays on Spotify and on. It's just weird how her numbers fluctuate. And anytime that Nicki breaks a record, it's almost like her label is trying to like put her there as well, so then they'll have her announce that she broke a new record. And it's just like, it's almost like they're trying to teeter it to make her seem like she's on Nicki's level, which we know that has happened many times in the past with all the other female rappers. And I guess every single female rapper failed to replace her in the industry. So now they're sending Doja. And I think that Doja, I don't know if Doja wants to do it or not. She may not have a choice. But I do know that she was like, throwing some little shots and stuff like that in her last little album, the Devil album. And, but she never outright says anything shady, because I do think she knows how powerful Nicki is, and she's a little scared, to be quite honest, because she never throws any direct shots. She always says, "Oh, I wasn't talking about anyone," and da-da-da, and "Thank you, Nicki, I love you." And she's doing this passive aggressive thing. I hate passive aggressive, but that's the game she's playing. But we don't know, with her new album coming, she may try to throw some more direct shots. She might. And I just hope she's ready for it, because nobody else has succeeded against Nicki. And, You know, she hasn't lost a battle yet. You know, really, really observe and look at all the other people that, in my opinion, were sent to, you know, try to take her down, and it hasn't worked. And so it's like, Doja, if you want to do that, just be ready for the repercussions, because it's clear that Nicki is divinely protected in some way. So it's like, okay, if you want to, if you want to go down that road, go down that road. Okay. But I do like Doja. I think she's talented, but I just don't think she is. I don't know if I consider her a female rapper, and I definitely don't think she's as talented as Nicki Minaj when it comes to like just pure raw lyricism, you know, aura, voice, you know, spirit, just all those things that make Nicki who she is. I just think that that puts her in her own league. So I see them doing the Doja comparison, but it's not fitting. But out of the rest of the girls, Doja is, you know, the best out of all the other girls. She's better than Bigfoot. She's better than Botch Body. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I was gonna stop doing the nicknames, but she's better than a lot of the other ladies. But she's no Nicki Minaj. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. Comment down below what you think about that topic and every other topic. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and go follow my new ex that's associated with this channel, and like the video. Okay, bye bye.